No, I have not yet. Hang on.
Seeing minutes have been approved, we'll now move on to item 4 reports. I have no report this week, so we will move on to President for the council.
Well, so we had a meeting with police and council for POC students. So it was like basically additional like that email that was sent. So basically we just kind of moved down. So students, this is a type of the initial Brianne Ward is the individual who's in charge. I put a link to her website. She's on one university, like a university having one. I sent her email as well. And essentially, so basically to utilize it, Simpson will pay your initial $200 fee, and then after that, if you have insurance, they'll try to use your insurance if possible, so you can get medical, total care, mental care, sick, I believe. They'll try to work for your insurance. Let's say you don't have insurance. This ward also provided that her practice does a sliding scale. So say if there's a need, say you're from out of state, say you don't have insurance. She said that she done consults for as low as $1, and like, it's not based on your parents' income. So say your parents are in different tax bracket or whatever. It's based on the student's income, so it really should be accessible to all students, especially those in need. And then a big thing is that they need to establish the next year. So I really advise if to go out and utilize the services, because if you don't use it, they will say that there's a need for next year. But I'll pursue it in all campus budget committee to ensure we have proper funding this forward for next year. And then group session will be getting 2 weeks. She's all booked up as of now. So as of 2 weeks, I'm guessing maybe another email will be sent to us from all the students. Yes. And then the other part, we talked about an executive about doing the school that's reached out to me so far. St. Paul, because I reached out to Oxford, Upstairs Office, St. Paul, Carlton, St. Scholastica, and Bethel, so we're school in Minnesota. And then I'm getting more information on the event greater than. I haven't got too much info, but I got to see a different person to see what we can do about student mental health, because there's been, even though COVID is loosening up here on campus, but realistically, it's still locked into their attendant, and thus students and safe. So yeah. Questions?
All right, seeing none, we now move on to the senior class president.
We have budget requests and new business, and I was reached out to. Let's take this back over here. I was reached out to by the teacher, the committee that does the Appreciation of Teachers Award. As a senior class president, I sit on that, and I also get to choose 3 other seniors who will also sit on that committee by Friday. So I'm going to give her a couple names after I talk to 3 individuals, and we're going to move from there. So that's my report.
Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, we'll now move on to junior class president, Tatum Claver.
So, first of all, happy International Women's History Month. Woo! So this is all like a very nice cohesive thing, which is cute. So Miki Kendall is coming on March 11th. I have the luxury of introducing her. And if you're women's and gender studies classes, you get extra credit and, you know, extra 10 points on on like an essay from May, you know that those 10 points can get you very, very far. So please come. And then in regards to events, I was very, what's a good word? Disappointed. Oh God, I feel like I'm here. I was kind of disappointed in the lack of attendance from SGA members at the last event. And I understand that, you know, like people like, you know, you have to study for exams, you know, people work. I do understand that, but at the same time, there's only 5 members of SGA. And if we really do believe that commitment that Jorge, Rich, and Chase read at the beginning of the semester, more of you would have made an effort to come to that event. And I made a point at the previous SGA meeting that like having some of you guys not attend the die-in was hurtful. Like as a member of the community, like I'm directly impacted by police brutality. I had an uncle pass away from police brutality, so like I'm personally affected by that, and that probably goes for a lot of other students of color on this campus. And whether or not you guys acknowledge it or kind of notice it, your actions do speak a lot louder than your words. And like, I'm gonna be completely honest, especially for me and Skazi, we are the 2 most outspoken women and just people in general on this campus, and it gets really, really tiring and it gets really exhausting when it feels like we're kind of yelling into the void, because if we're being completely honest, we're not asking for a lot. We're just asking for support and some acknowledgement, and especially from you guys as student leaders and as peers and as people that I also respect like a ton, even though a lot of you guys like may not respect me as much, I do have like for human decency for all of you. And when you guys don't show up to these events, it's kind of like that's not reciprocated. And like, you know, Women's History Month, you know, you should be respecting women regardless, but also women of color are the most underrepresented and under-respected group in America. So like, please take that in consideration because all of those things overlap into one. Intersectionality is something that you should be talking about in your classes. So I just wanted to take a second to like address you guys personally. Like I'm kind of glad that we're in person so I can like talk to you guys about this. So you guys can kind of like see where I'm coming from. I'm not angry. I'm just really hurt because it seems like none of you guys care. And like when you guys don't care, it makes me and Skazi especially feel like we're not doing anything. And as women, we're going into fields where like we're enacting change. It's really disheartening. So like I expect to see you guys at the Miki Kendall event. As I'm someone who is introducing her, I do get to see the attendance list, and I will be taking attendance. And I will personally be reaching out to you as to why you guys didn't show up, because it does matter a lot. And first of all, like the one thing that COVID we can't thank for, we are getting so many phenomenal speakers coming to this college that we would never have the opportunity to see. And like, I'm in a seminar class right now, and one of the things that you guys will be like seeing with alumni, like GPA is important, but the connections that you make matter more than anything. And like for me, this is a great connection. One of you guys coming up and I get to talk to Miki Kendall, I can be like, you know what, Jorge, you know, great networking. Boom, the connection for Jorge. Like first of all, Black author, first Ashford, I could do amazing things for anybody in this room. So like, it's beneficial for you, and you guys can learn something because I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty well educated in diversity and DEI and like inclusivity and like racial issues. I walked out of the Michelle Dester event learning so much, and that is saying something because I am pretty well versed on these issues. So I can only imagine what that would have done for a lot of people in this room. So I just wanted to take a second to address that. But yeah, that was all. I don't mean that to be angry. I wanted to just like say it because it was kind of hurtful, and I will be like talking about it in a more specific group with exec on Friday. So I did bring it up to Rich because I was kind of so like tied up about it. So yeah, I just wanted to be transparent with you guys because I'm big on communication. So I need to be held to the same standard that I hold you guys to. So that's the end of my report.
Questions or comments?
What is the event?
Huh?
What is the event?
March.
March 11th, which is next Thursday, 7 p.m. Please, please, please come. Please.
She is phenomenal. I just was on a conference today and she was the keynote speaker. She's amazing.
Yeah, and she's offered for feminism. I got the luxury of like getting a copy of the book, and I'm only 3 chapters in. I've learned so much, like it's absolutely insane. So like, please come. It's gonna be a great event. Yeah.
Is it virtual event too?
Yes, it's on Zoom. I can put a link to like the
now move on to sophomore class president, Frank Cruz.
All right, tampon dispensers. We have them now up and running in Kent, in the first floor. We are planning to get more, so just kind of be patient. We're gonna get more real soon around campus. The campus-wide program, I've been working still with Will on it. We've been organizing some ideas and things like that. And we're just trying to make it something memorable for each year, something that everybody will hopefully look forward for the next year. And that is the end of my report.
Any questions for Frank? Seeing none, we will now move on to first year class president, okay.
Okay, so some mask updates that I talked about last week. I met with the guy again this week, and he got all the designs downloaded for all the different clubs and organizations. We'll have those coming in the next few weeks or whatever, and I think we should have a budget request for it next week, if not sooner, in the group chat. So be on the lookout for that, and then I'm super excited for that. And then yeah, like Frank said, we've been working together on a campus-wide club event in April. So more information will be coming on that, but we'll get some details put together to hopefully give you guys some more information in the upcoming weeks.
Any questions for Will? All right, seeing none, we will on to item number 5, old business. It looks like we have a couple budget requests. Go ahead, Elliot.
Okay, I don't have the mic. So if you look at old business in our agenda, I switched all the budget requests that we approve in committee to old business since we don't have to vote on them. But I will still talk about them just so everybody knows what we have done and have approved within committee. So Sci Chi Honor Society, if you remember 2 weeks ago, we approved their budget for care packages. We automatically took off the amount that they have in their account. That's a standard practice for FAC. But they did not communicate to us during the meeting that they wanted that money and they had that money fundraised for other specific events. So within committee, we just allocated them $86.95 to rebalance their budget and get them at zero equal when it comes to the end of the semester. So that is all for old business.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we will now move on to item number 6, new business. We have budget requests, new business. Go ahead, Elliot.
So this is Simpson Powerlifting Club. FAC has motioned to allocate $718.80 to the Simpson Powerlifting Club.
Second.
Discussion? Elliot, go ahead, sorry.
So they are requesting money to purchase T-shirts for their new organization. They're brand new. We actually have the vice president sitting in this room. Go ahead, Brennan Lynn. Yeah. Just kidding. They got a lot of members, really excited to see this organization take off. So that is the budget.
Any questions or comments? All right, it has been motioned and seconded to allocate $718.80 to Simpson's Powerlifting Club. We'll go ahead and vote on that now. All right, all those in person in favor, please raise your hand. All those on Zoom, please use the green check mark. Abstentions? Motion passes. We will now move on to item number 7, general discussion, alumni relations. Go ahead.
So I kind of forgot this in my report, but I will be, there's another meeting, so on alumni relations. Earlier this week, I don't recall, but we talked about, alumni stuff. They're still committed to paying the money that's the rest of the money for the Enron chairs. But, they're curious about any other projects that we want to do, anything moving forward. I'll be meeting with President Lane and Andy English once again on Monday. So is there anything you guys, with alumni help, any things particular, you guys want? Another 5 members. It can't just be my opinion. Anything?
So that you know, the alumni board paid for a good chunk of the fire pit that's outside of Hartford. The only thing that SGA contributed to that was a couple $1,000s for the gas to be run to it. And with the red and yellow chairs that are out on campus, the alumni board contributed half of what that money was. So that came to, Ellie, wasn't it what, $10,000, $12,000 for those chairs? And the alumni board contributed half of that money for those. So I think that they're just looking for ways to make sure that you guys have the kind of experience that they had when they were students here.
Well, if there's nothing, we can discuss this in exec for the.
All right, anything else for general discussion? All right, we'll now move on to item number 8, announcements. Go ahead, Tam.
Okay, so everyone should have gotten an email the other day, but I just thought it was a really cool event that ISO is doing, so I just wanted to tell you guys about it. It is a campus culture dialogue, and the topics that are included are not limited to racism and microaggressions, ethnocentrism, stereotyping multicultural groups on campus, safety of students, LGBTQ+ discrimination, and sexism. It's April 13th from 5 to 6 on Zoom. Another great event where we could all learn and, talk to each other. But I just thought it was a really cool event, so I wanted to tell you guys about it because I know we get a lot of emails and we don't read them. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tatum. Go ahead, Rich.
Just a couple of things. I know that Tatum brought this up about attending all campus events and programs like is it Nikki or Mickey? I can't remember from today, but attending those events, we are going to talk about that in exec. So know that we'll be coming back with some directions about how we expect you all as members of this community to support other groups on this campus through the programs that they're having. So that's one thing. The other thing that I want to remind you all of is that you all are on various committees in this room. You all chose to be sitting around these tables and around this larger group. And there's an expectation when you chose to be in this room. We expect that you're going to go to those various committee meetings that have been set up. I know that you're all really, really busy. I know what you're all involved in. I know all the other stuff that you're doing. And that's for you to work with the chair of that committee, the class president or whoever, to ensure that if that time isn't going to work, that you set up an appropriate time that will work so everybody can be attended. Yeah, Tatum. Oh, I got it. No, thanks. That's okay. So just remember that if you can't make a time that has been set up by your group previously, work with that class president so they can set up time that will work. But the expectation is that you will be at those meetings. Also realize that not going to meetings will be counted towards your overall attendance in this group, and we will be assessing that. And if you continue to not go, this organization will have no other choice than to drop you from its roster. So please, please, please have enough respect for those folks who are taking the time and showing up for meetings to show up yourself and be there. So like I said, I know y'all are busy. I know you have a lot of stuff going on, but please do what's expected of you because a lot of other people outside of this room are expecting you to step up to the plate as well.
All right, any other announcements? Go ahead, Elliot.
Mark C. Johnson's some author, and he's coming to Simpson to talk about Tuesday Night Massacre, the 4 Senate elections, and the radicalization of the Republican Party. And that is on the 18th of March. It's put on by the Iowa History Center, and it looks kind of cool. So if you're interested, it's a Zoom meeting or a forum, I guess. So you can just get like a requested link, and then you can go to that if you like.
Go ahead. Okay, am I loud enough? Everyone can hear me?
the seniors, we have in-person graduation. And the class of 2020, so that's exciting. Just wanted to say that. Also, Dance Marathon, they are having their event on Sunday, and it's going to be outside of the pedestrian plaza, outside camp. And they're going from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you just want to stop by and support them and like donate and do all that, that would be fantastic for a good cause. And then finally, everyone's favorite part. Follow the CDC guidelines, stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, they get dirty, use hand sanitizer, wear a mask, do all the things. Coronavirus, you're outpacing like positive cases with vaccines. If you can get a vaccine, get a vaccine.
Thanks, Jordan. All right, anyone else have anything?
This is just reiterating my report. If you are a student of color and you don't think you need therapy, just go if you can to establish the need, because we don't know what our incoming class is going to look like. So if there's no need established, therefore they won't allocate it or whatever. So I mean, you have an opportunity, group session, helpful. Yeah, just no commitments. But that's about it. Just that way we can establish what they call need.
Anything else for announcements? Seeing none, we now move on to item number 9, adjourned. This meeting stands adjourned.